Okay. Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of DMA Brandmasters, the vlog where marketing insights and innovation takes center stage. I am Preeti Hoon, your guide through the fascinating world of brand strategy and storytelling. Today we are thrilled to welcome a visionary in the realm of marketing, Ashish Tiwari, the Chief Marketing Officer of Home Credit India. Known for his inventive approach to marketing and mastery in data storytelling, Ashish is here to share his wealth of knowledge and insights. Under Ashish's leadership, Home Credit India has been revolutionizing financial services, making them accessible to a broader audience. His strategies emphasize the power of data in crafting compelling narratives that resonate with consumers. As we dive into today's discussion, we'll explore how Ashish's mantra, data needs to be used to weave your storytelling, has fundamentally shaped the marketing strategies at Home Credit India. Get ready for an episode packed with actionable insights and forward thinking ideas. Welcome, Ashish.
Thanks, Preeti. Thanks for having me here. Yeah.
Okay, so quickly, we would like to know how are things shaping up at Home Credit India for IPL and elections and these high octane events.
I think not only Home Plate India, I think entire country is gearing up for two very diverse events. One, whereas you are going to exercise your franchise, which decides the future not only for yours but for your generations. The another one, which entertains you, engages you, and probably gives a lot of high volume chatter. Both generate
Right,
chatter of a different
that's
kind, I
true.
think. Yeah.
So
So
you're
I think,
excited about it?
oh yeah, certainly. I mean, this is an unparalleled opportunity presented to be able to reach out to your audience, connect with them, and create meaningful impact.
Great. So, what about the media allocation strategy? Let's begin with that. Given Home Credit India's focus on financial inclusion, especially in the digital space, how are you balancing your media spend between digital platforms and traditional media to maximize impact during high-profile events such as IPL and general elections? Can you share insights into how this strategy differs from your regular media allocation plan?
Sure, Preeti, one needs to understand that each event presents a different kind of a opportunity. Okay, when you look at
Sure.
general elections typically are kind of a typically attract or create inquisitiveness across the board, whether it is 18 years old or 80 years old. Everybody is curious about it. This is also an event whereas customers or the target audience is trying to get updated very regularly.
Correct.
But at the same point in time, it's a moving event because of the size of a country we are. So you have elections happening in phases. Okay, the kind of a platform which become very very important at that point in time are typically news avenues, because everybody wants to know.
Hmm.
Okay, there is a lot of curiosity around people. Who is my candidate? What is happening at national level? To how will it impact my state or my place and stuff like that. You also see a lot of reverse migration happening at this point in time. People who are kind of working somewhere else will go back to their town, their side of the country to be able to exercise their franchise and so on and so forth.
Correct.
Okay, when you look at IPL, it's a sport entertainment which typically connects very well with the youth. So whether it is 14 years to about 35, 40 years, that's where your major concentration happens. Also, in the difference of IPL and elections, if you were to think about it, in elections, you have very, very strong regional flavors. In IPL, the teams might be regional, but because of teams are constituted of players and they come from everywhere else, so you have the following, which is massive, massive across the country. To be able to take impact of it, so I call it typically IPL for typically reach and elections for connect, because
Hmm.
that's what, if you look at that media, so elections are typically upper middle and IPL is a top funnel kind of an activity. Whereas so on a digital medium, it's going to be the news avenues, it's going to be places where you can actually give out updates or you can create contests and you can engage with audience. Okay, on the IPL kind of a thing. At the offline, which is about which is going back to my where we will like to connect with our retailers, with our POS owners, with our target, with our existing customers, okay,
Right.
and create on ground excitement with them for both these events. I mean, in election, there is a limited on ground opportunity because of you would like to also remain into the ambit of constitution. So you would like to create, you would typically like to connect with the audience which is consuming news, and which also kind of is decides your creative strategy, your messaging strategy around that. What kind of a messaging are you giving? You can't have same messages being slapped both the places. You have to have a very
Correct.
different message which drives your audience connect and gives them much more to ponder and then
Hmm.
reach out to you.
Sure. So, tell us about, like you mentioned, the audience is different, the platforms are different, the events are actually different in nature. But how does Home Credit India has a unique, customer base in a way that includes the unbanked and undeserved? And then, how do you tailor your advertising strategies to engage these diverse audience segments effectively during the IPL and general elections? And how does data storytelling play a role in this?
So if you look at my major target audience is around to create, to provide financial tools for underserved, okay,
Right.
people who will probably or enable people to live their life better. And this story, this brand thought matches very very closely to both
Mm-hmm.
the events. Whether
Right.
it is IPL, IPL as a platform has given this country a in cricketing arena, it has given a massive opportunity for the talent across. It has changed lives for both the players as well as for the followers, because the followers get to exercise, or followers get to watch a unprecedented game. Every game is, I mean, you have a nail biting action happening, okay, and which is very close to what a brand like us provide to our customers, an experience which enables them do more with their life. Elections, on the other hand, decides your future. As a
Yeah.
as a as a citizen of this country, we exercise our franchise, okay, to decide where we take this country across. So for
True.
me,
True.
the kind of a action which happens, like I said earlier, is around a twofold. One is connecting back with my current consumers,
Okay.
engaging with them, and also recruit new trialists, recruit new brand evangelists on the foray. Because of when you have a reach available for you, when you have a platform, whereas in a normal time a person can probably read a couple of lines and leave, during the election you would want to get deeper into the subject. You would want to get you want to understand much more what is happening in your own area, okay. And at that point in time, if you have a content story which kind of marries together with the content people are like, which is about exploration, okay, which is
Hmm.
about connection, which is about being able to think where do I want to go and how do I want to lead. And at the end of the day, I enable people to live their dreams. I, as a brand, we enable people to do much more and extract more from life now. Yeah, so that way I think it is a lot more on the content play.
Mm-hmm.
The platform provide the opportunity and content has to work so that it's a transition, and it's not about the different audience. Try and understand, when you are consuming a news piece, when you are thinking about a future, you are much more serious, you are much more thinking. When you are watching a sports uh, like IPL, it's much more adrenaline rush which runs into a consumer, okay. He doesn't want to be, you don't want to block the swing of a bat by one of your pop-up blockers coming out there. That will not be a good brand experience, am I
Right.
right? But you certainly can have, you certainly, and as a brand, depending on how much, what wherewithal a brand allows or your pocket allows, you can have collaborations out there.
Right. So talking
which
of collaborations, I would like to, shift your focus a little on the digital transformation of things. It has been pivotal for the financial sector. And how has this transformation altered Home Credit India's approach to advertising for large-scale events like the IPL and the general elections, like we're talking about? And how are you measuring success in these digital endeavors?
see today, I think the journey has become much more phygital than ever. Okay, so it is no brand can survive by saying that I am only digital and I am only physical. You need to be able to connect where consumers are. Okay,
Correct.
and as I said, I need to be present on my POS. With my POS network, I need to be visible out there. I need to be available. I need to connect with them. And once the consumer is onboarded, I need to be able to handhold them. I need to provide them an experience which is unparalleled. Okay, and that's how, as a category code for the or flag of the category is trust. That's how trust is built. These events are what they do is they squeeze the timeline. So if
Right.
it was to take 10 months to reach 40 million, using one of these event platform, you can do it probably in 10 days. Okay, that's what it
But you
also.
but you also have to like shell out that much amount of money to be able to garner those many eyeballs and the engagement. So do
And
you as a brand have that kind of budget, and do you sort of plan in advance and look forward to events like these?
Priti, that's where comes the power of segmentation.
Okay.
Am I right? Do I want to connect with all 40 million is the question.
Ah,
Am I right?
right.
Just
Yeah.
because of a massive event is happening, try and understand it. As I said, it squeezes the timeline. So not necessarily in a 10 months time, I wanted to connect with 40 million. I
Right.
wanted my relevant target set.
Hmm. How do you
When
determine that? Like
so
in because IPL is more a national event and general elections, of course, a national event. How do you determine and segmentize the entire
that
audience?
that's where the power of digital comes into play.
Ah, correct.
It is about being able to sharply create. And as a marketer, and I keep saying it, and I almost sound like a broken record now. It is it's not that digital has changed marketing. It has allowed marketers to use much more tools to be able to sharply have one-on-one conversations. So
Sure,
if I
sure.
wanted to, if earlier I wanted, say, to connect to Preeti, okay, I would have to wait for Preeti to come online. Now I know if Preeti is my target segment who is connected,
Hmm.
who is a 18, 20 years young sports enthusiast, plays the fantasy cricket. I know that during IPL, Preeti will come and have will spend more screen time. Now there are more and more tools available to be able to create a conversation which is only and only tailored for Preeti versus say a 45 or 50 or 60 years old Ashish who is kind of sitting down somewhere in the BNC class town or a class also and kind of
As a
not very
marketer,
seldom coming.
has that got complex for you, or has the technology made it easier for you?
See, I would say for a ROI focus, it has become easy. And it's not about the quantum of work, it's about the outcome of work. Okay.
Okay,
So
sure.
marketers can very sharply define the outcome today. It has enabled the measurement. It has enabled you to measure yourself pretty strongly. It's no more you can say which 50% is working. If you define it sharply and you ask me a question about how do you measure it,
Yeah.
de- depending on the media channel and the creative, I would be looking at views to visits to conversion, the full funnel exercise. Because of
Okay.
at the end of the day, as a business, I mean, if it doesn't ring the cash register, and not everything has to ring the cash register right away, it's about am I able to, like I use two terms, reach back to your current. I have 16 million odd consumers who have trusted me.
Hmm.
I know that out of that, X million will come online because of they have shown that kind of a propensity. Am I right? So being
Sure.
able to connect with them, have a tailored product offering for them. Whereas there's another thing. I mean, as a as an organization, you need to keep recruiting new brand evangelists and brand trialists. Yeah. And for them it will be more like, have they come into top of the funnel? Once they have come on top of the funnel, how do you push them towards the bottom of the funnel?
Sure. So, since we're talking about the ROI, and the technicalities of measuring, can we also shift our focus to like how Home Credit India is using the measure, how it is measuring the ROI of the advertising per se during these events, and especially during these events like IPL and general elections, and how do these methods help in refining your strategies?
See, I would not be able to give you specific details, but I can tell you that to my, and you know the reasons, Preeti, very honestly. I mean, I can't go campaign by campaign, but
Yeah.
typically these events are both from a perspective of being able to, if I were to give you top 3 KPIs, they will be very, very simply, they will be like views to visits.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, how many views happened, VTR, and then VCR, and the visits finally. How many visits
Okay.
happen both offline and online channels?
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. All right. So, now coming to the balancing brand building and performance marketing, how do you do that? And what is the approach of this? So, like per se, striking a balance in your overall advertising strategy when it comes to brand building and performance marketing, especially during these high octane, high visibility events like IPL and general elections.
You know, Priti, sometimes, and this question gets asked a lot, sometimes I
Yeah.
wonder, it's like asking somebody saying that, do you focus on building your health and do you focus on eating? Yeah. Eating is done for now, and health and gymming or whatever exercising is done to build your health over a long period of time. Either one of you skip either one of the things, and I don't know if the other one will suffice for one for forever. Okay.
Okay.
These events, again, depending on brand to brand, for my kind of a brand, these events present me an opportunity to be able to both go deep into the funnel, whereas people who are sitting, so people who are looking to, if your phone is hanging again and again and you have a very old phone and you are not being, you are thinking of changing, giving you zero EMI offers, okay, on this, saying that you missed the last IPL action because of, probably because of your device, will probably make sense for you.
Hmm.
And if you are my existing customer, have a Ujjwal EMI card already, then the message has to be very different. Okay. So
Hmm.
your events cannot, anybody who only depends on events to build a business, okay, in our kind
Hmm.
of an industry, I am unsure that is doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Events
It's
should
more
be,
long term in your category.
precisely. So a brand building has to happen in parallel to also, and both things, you can't say that I will prioritize one over another. If you
Okay.
only do, if you only go, if you only do transactional work, then people will look at you as a transactional organization. And the moment, at the end of the day, I mean, you want loyalty to be embedded somewhere with your customers. You want them to think of you when they think of doing something more from their life. You want you
Sure.
to be remembered when they think of having a great experience. You want them to recommend. We operate, I mean, whether you like it or not, as an industry, you operate in a, you are an
Word of
industry of
mouth.
community. It's a community of interest product.
Yes,
When you want to
absolutely.
buy, when you want to take a loan, you go and ask your neighbor, your friend, your family, which organization do you want it from. And if a recommendation does not work there, then you have a problem. So you also need to
Hmm.
keep connecting, and not everybody is going to take a loan every day. I'm not a credit card
True.
organization.
Very
Yeah.
true.
So you need to
It's usually
create
once
those.
in a lifetime, and it's not a daily activity or a routine exercise that one
I mean,
indulges.
because of you give up, because of I'm interacting with the consumers who are taking it for consumer durables or a personal loan, it is much more than once in a lifetime. But despite that, I don't know of a person who would take 30 loans in 3 years. Am I right?
True.
You would
Yes.
want to, and if they are compelled to do that, then you as a brand has not done your job rightly. As a brand, as Home Credit, we say that zindagi hit with Home Credit.
Hmm.
The entire essence is that I enable you to do more from life, and if I am enabling you to do more from life, which means the money which is being taken needs to help you do more. And if you continue keep doing more, which essentially means your need cycle should change.
I totally that thought resonates, somewhere. Where do you think that ethics kind of stop you from being, you know, uh, a businessman in a way, like I want to ask this, like, since you are representing a brand which, like you rightly said, that you are doing more than just selling your product. You are making a lifestyle change. You're helping them build a life. You're helping them, cut down on their expenses and have actually more money with them ultimately. So do you think like ethics are sort of, you know they are a hindrance in a way where you cannot do hardcore business in this category?
I mean, I would like to respond it differently. I think that anybody who thinks that ethics are a roadblock, okay, I don't know if they are into the right business. I think ethics should power your business.
Hmm.
Ethics, I look at it, it's like asking me saying that are you a God loving or God fearing? I mean, if he's a God, why should I fear?
Yeah.
Similarly, ethics have to empower you to do better. You
Right.
want a long term business. You don't want to do a shortcut and take those short bets. Business itself is, I mean, accountant and accounts always say that business is an ongoing entity
Yeah.
far beyond the individual. And if it's an ongoing entity, the moment you start to think like that, then everything falls in place, because of then you
Hmm.
are thinking. And I always say that as a marketer, as in business, what is right for consumer is right for all of us.
Okay.
I am a marketer not because of home credit wants home credit. I am there because of there is some consumer who has trusted home
Hmm.
credit that it will enable him to do better, and they pay my salary, isn't that?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
as a whether whether you are a brand marketer or anybody, I think you should always have ethics very, very strongly as a core which drives your business. And I think I'm very, very fortunate to be working with an organization which is very, very strong on its ethical grounds.
Sure.
For us,
Sure.
for
So
us,
that
it is
was a
yeah, for us, it is all about consumer. And that's the reason we were able to create the brand plank about Zindagi Hit.
Sure. So, Ashish, we just had a small, tiny philosophical class from you there, and coming back to the technical side again, and talking about the influencer and celebrity partnerships. But do they significantly impact your brand's visibility, and how critical are these partnerships to Home Credit India's advertising strategy during the IPL and general elections, and how do you quantify their impact?
See, I would again say, irrespective of the event, event only and only squeezes the timeline to reach. I think the fundamentals of your brand pillars remain same. We work and we do use influencers. It's not
Right.
that we collaborate with them; we use them. We take their help. We co-work together to be able to create an impact. And the core decision factor remains that is there a alignment between our thoughts? Yeah, is there an alignment? Whereas, can I educate people better about their handling their money?
Sure.
Can I do more to help people create better life with the money they got? Okay.
Do you
And
think that use of influencers in your category is a little risky? Because there is trust factor involved, and usually we see that influencers at large are not, they're not, they are trusted, but are they saying the right thing, is that where the credibility comes in.
I would
So
I would not kind of paint the use one brush stroke to paint the entire thing. I would say that there are different strokes for different folks.
sure.
Okay. And it depends on the individual, the brand marketer, to be able to create it. Hence I use the word collaborations. It
Hmm.
works with the marketer on where they are collaborating. Okay. At the end of the day, none of the influencers I know get up in the morning and say I'm going to create a fuzzy logic around the entire world today. They want to do right things. It's about if there are connect, if there are etho, and hence comes the word which you used a while back, saying that does the ethics stop? Here comes the ethics. Are our ethics, are our fundamentals, are our way we think about our customers aligned? And if they are, then I don't think so there should be an issue. At the end of the day, everybody is a good person.
Sure. So we would like to believe. And what about the sponsorship decisions and during these high octane events? Like, what factors influence Home Credit India's decision to sponsor broadcast IPs during events like IPL? And how do you assess the value they bring to your brand? And in an
See,
election year, do you like how does this strategy adapt?
see, for us, because of we serve to a cross section of society, a mass medium does not really uh, gives in the ROI we want. For example, I would have products and services for a particular audience set. Okay, and that's where I think we are shying away at this point in time from those kinds of collaborations. We remain very focused to be able to create conversations with the target audience we can serve and we have a offering to.
So how do you fare out versus those brands in the same category who are using celebrities extensively?
I won't be able to answer on their behalf.
No, how do you fare out
I
in
think,
this scenario?
yeah, I think we are doing pretty decent. Growth numbers talk for themselves. Okay,
Okay,
and I think we have been able to. We look at both from the bottom line impact as well as the brand impact. So brand health track is something which is an NPS and brand health track are very core to our entire I think decisioning. Okay, and both are pretty strong, and we continue
sure.
to grow very strongly. So yeah, I think they do add value. I'm not saying that the celebrities don't add value, but it all depends on the trajectory a brand is wanting to take. For me, my I think at this point in time, the trajectory where we are, my customers and my boss owners and people who serve customers are the real celebrities which we got uh, in our business, and I certainly collaborate with them.
That's a great way to look at it, and I am with you on that. In fact, what better than word of mouth and actually people recommending, giving a first-hand recommendation about your brand to the other person that they get in touch with. So, coming to the trends and predictions now, and based on current trends, what are your predictions for the future of advertising in the context of major events like these? And are there any new avenues or strategies Home Credit India is exploring?
See, I think events, whether it is IPL, general election, or the further upcoming events, I think they do create an opportunity for you to be able to connect to mass or create deeper connections with your own audience set wherever you want to create. And if the business is about connections, then one should be able to exploit and one should be able to be present there to create those conversations. As far as the trends goes, I think that whether we like it or not, the buzzwords of the word, which is like being able to create differentiated value segments and communication segments, is going to be more pivotal for anybody to succeed. The overall the being able to generate content at mass and yet produce for one is going to be the key for brands in their journey. And I
Mm-hmm.
think marketers who are able to uh, evoke trust, create conversations, meaningful conversations,
Yeah.
let me put it this way, are going to create a differentiation, whether it is marketer or a brand. Technologies will come and keep evolving. So yesterday it was Web 1.0, then 2.0, 3.0. Now it's in kind of right now the trend is GPTs. So they will come, they will go. The newer will
Technology
keep,
is dynamic. I think trust is permanent.
yeah. So they will keep coming and going. I think one needs to be, as a brand, one needs to be able to stand out for trust, stand out for doing right, and stand out for its ethics. The events will provide you acceleration point. or a vantage point to be able to connect with your audience.
Very rightly said, actually. And my last question to you is, what are the biggest challenges and opportunities Home Credit India foresees in advertising for the upcoming IPL and election seasons, especially considering your focus on financial inclusion and digital transformation? How is the brand preparing to tackle these?
I think the biggest challenge is going to be being able to being able to be uh, to be visible to your right audience set, because of
Hmm.
and being able to be visible in a right profitability metric, because of at the end of the day, I mean, you have a limit to where you can go, right? And all these events, while they provide you an opportunity to speak, the attention span is also pretty curtailed.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Sure.
I think and the platforms get overcrowded at times. Okay, the audience is also exhausted beyond a point.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest challenge, and that challenge can only be. And I don't know why I keep repeating this, but I don't have any other words to say. I think those challenges can only be mitigated by great storytelling, which is fact based, which is crafted for an individual, and which where you can resonate with individual thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, and emotions also play a lot of, like you said, storytelling. I think it's just the right thing to say on this because emotions with storytelling is reigns the category, in a way, and people do respond and reciprocate more when they can relate with the brand on that level.
So I think that's these are the challenges. Besides, as I said, the cost of reach.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. And I think, Ashish, that was a great chat with you. And thank you so much for taking out your time. And what an insightful journey, actually, it's been with you. And your expertise and innovative approach to using data storytelling in marketing has provided with invaluable insights into navigating the complex landscapes of high profile events such as IPL and general elections. So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and strategies with us. And to our listeners, for tuning into episode 7 of DMA Brand Masters. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more episodes where we unravel the secrets behind successful marketing strategies. I'm Preeti Hoon, wishing you inspiration and success in your marketing endeavors. Stay curious and see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, Preeti.
Thank you,
I hope
Ashish.
that was
Bye.
useful.
Yes, yes, of course. And thank you for arranging the light.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's perfectly okay. Yeah.
Bye bye. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks. Yeah. Bye. Bye.